If you're going to get a commercial roof, you might as well get an expert. Somebody knows what they're doing. These can get expensive, especially if they're not done correctly. We've got an expert here to talk about it. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome to the Your Little Castle show. Again, highlighting those leaders. J.R. Miller is in the building. He's the owner of Rapid Commercial Roofing. If you are interested in getting information about how to install, what you need to do to make a good decision to buy a commercial roof, this young man knows what he's talking about. Been doing this for 7 years now, and really is doing wonderful work. You can check out the reviews. If you missed our first show, that first show had lots of great information. Yes. We air 5 times a week now. Look at that, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week on ABC. But if you missed it when it aired on ABC, everything is on our YouTube channel. We can go to yourlittlecastle.com, click the link for all past shows, and they're in order according to when they were filmed. And then they air according to whatever we fill in with, according to what we got going on. But we love helping small businesses get their name out, get their word out, and help the small businesses because they do such a great job. And just they don't have the $50 million budget for marketing. But, hey, we help people to say, hey, we're going to make you look famous because you're doing great stuff to support our community. So with that, JR, let's jump in. I want you to finish up a little bit. Give me, because I had to cut you off. We were finishing up that first half hour. The biggest mistake people make. Buying a commercial roof. Nail that down for me real quick.
I would just say, buying a commercial roof, a lot of people, today's world, they like to, put coatings down, and I'm not trying to bad talk anybody, but there's people out there that like to just put down coating and they don't know what they're doing. And at the end of the day, they're out there just to make a quick buck. And there's a reason some of those are cheaper. So if you get a really cheap bid, just check into that before you make a decision, because not always cheap is the way to go, for sure.
Sure. I would imagine somebody in the professional level, somebody says, we'll take a look at my bid, you can tell them if they got a good deal, or
yes,
there's something there they should be a little bit wary of.
Yes. Yep. And it never hurts to ask them, how are you certified? Do you have certifications? Are you trained for this? Because it really makes a difference when you are certified for that.
So when it comes to the type of business, you're 100% commercial. Do you ever do any residential?
So the only residential we do is obviously low slope or flat roofs. So we do that part, but it still has everything to do with the product that we apply. Because sometimes, sorry not to cut you off, but I was going to say sometimes, a house like an apartment or whatever, they might have a TPO roof because it's a flat roof, right? So you go down to St. Louis, there's apartments. I guess they're called, would be commercial, but we do a lot of metal restorations where we restore metal roofs, and for farm owners, where they might have a barn that is leaking, and so we can restore their roof, and the half the cost is what it does to tear it off and put it back on. So.
Well done, yeah. So it's related to the product. So in those flat roofs that you got, that's your specialty. And there are some residential places that have those, of course, and so that's important to note the difference there. You can help them too. What is it you like most about the region? Now you cover all of St. Louis or all of Missouri. How far do you go to help people?
So I'll go to Kansas City if the roof is big enough, right? If it's worth the time, but in the last 5 years that we've been here, we haven't traveled more than an hour and a half, which was to Columbia. Within the hour, all our work is from Louisiana to St. Louis, a little bit south of St. Louis, but everything around this area.
What do you like about the market that you're in? St. Louis is a great target area. There's also, I guess, there's plenty of opportunity to create business for you because you've got such crazy weather here. Does that impact the way you?
Yes.
You obviously impact your businesses.
Yeah, it can. But I like the area because it makes me feel like I am actually serving local people. Like if I was going all the way to Kansas City for somebody that isn't local, I'm still helping them out, but they're not local. So it makes it a little bit of a difference there. You're dealing with local people and you're in the area constantly. They can they know who you are, and so you're dealing with people that you get to know pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's important. Like I said, a lot of people, I've been in sales positions in certain areas. I don't sell to anybody I know. And I'm like, then what are you selling to? You're afraid to sell to people that you know. You like to live among the people that you're selling to, or you're helping with your product, because they may live in the neighborhood or the town not too far from you.
Yep.
But you have enough confidence in what you're doing. You're helping people.
Yep. And they can always find me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's important.
It's important. If your roofing guy sold you a $100,000 roof and now you can't find them, that might be a problem.
That is going to be a problem.
Tell me that. You've been doing this for a while. Give me an example or two, if you have, of somebody where they were in a tough situation, business owner was in a tight spot, and you came through for them, whether that was to help them out a little bit or a time when you helped somebody that was in a difficult situation.
Yep. So, yeah, okay. So I was just thinking, I had to get a second to think there. So there's a guy we did some work for, and he actually had a metal building that was constantly leaking, and he had said he had like 20 different roofers up there, and they couldn't figure out what's going on. And so I actually just door knocked the building, and got to know the owner pretty good, and then I think it was a year later, we ended up doing his roofs, and it was a 40,000 square foot roof. And by the time we were done with it, he didn't have no leaks. So he was pretty happy about that, because he had some other people that said, you just got to tear that whole roof off. So when we come and offered him the solution, it saved him a lot of money on tearing it off, because he didn't have to shut his company down either. Because you're losing a lot of money when you shut a company down. Sometimes you have to tear a roof off, I get that, but there's sometimes that, if the roof is qualified for that, then absolutely.
Yeah, that tearing off the roof is what is the expensive part. It costs people to have to shut down when you're doing a tear off. You've got things flying all over the place, and you can't have people around.
Yep.
Yeah, different ways that affect it. Yeah, and you don't want businesses not want to have to shut down, and you found a solution for how many roofers? You said almost 20 different guys that nobody could figure this out.
Yes, yeah, that came on
That's
the
crazy.
roof, and they I don't think they ever got back with him, because they just thought they didn't have a solution for it. So.
Okay. You had the solution.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty neat what you get to do there. What is the biggest challenge you've had to overcome as a small business owner? There's a lot that goes into running a company, but I can assume by now you've run into some hurdles that made you stronger. You're still here, so.
Yes. Yeah, I would say my first roof I ever done, I basically paid for the roof because it leaked.
Oh, wow.
And but I stood behind it. I still, today, he's that guy that I did a roof for. Never met him before till I knocked on his door. He actually married us. He's my mentor.
Okay.
So it's a guy I never knew. Walked into his building. He actually lived in Connecticut.
Okay.
And so I got to meet him, and he actually led me to Christ.
Okay.
And so, today we have a really good relationship, even though I paid basically for his roof.
Yeah, it didn't work out initially, but you made up for it.
And I still gave him a good roof at the end of the day. I stood behind it. But I learned a lot there. And so, then those times, they make you tougher. Yeah.
It's sticking with it, everybody. When you have something that fails,
Yep.
you got to come through anyway. And obviously, you didn't make so much money there, but the valuable lessons learned might have been worth more than
long term. Yeah, you have to be determined and consistent in what you do. So
write that one down, everybody. Determined and consistent, everybody.
Yeah.
If you can pull off both of those, you will be successful. You'll have some other hurdles, but those are important things to make sure you stay on top of. I want to give people some examples of your work. I can see some stuff on your Facebook page here, and so if it's all right, I'll put that on the wall for everybody to take a look at. But there you are. There's the owner, and then some of your pictures.
Yep.
But here you can see this is the type of roof you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Now was that a residential, or is that because there's
that's commercial? That's commercial.
Buildings down in the city look like that sometimes. But
down in St. Louis, right in the you can see the Italian. It's kind of in the Italian area there.
Okay.
Right
the hill.
Yeah.
Right here.
The hill. Yes. Yep.
Okay. And
so
that looks beautiful. That looks like you could almost like glass. So you got there.
Yeah. So that's a spray foam system, and what you're seeing there, the blue, that is a base coat that we put down over the spray foam. That was actually a full tear off. there, and we put down plywood, and then we put a spray foam system over that, and then we do base coat and then top coat on that, which it'll be white on the end. There should be a picture somewhere for that. I'm not sure.
Well, let's scroll through them here. We might find a few here. Here's another. Is that a metal roof?
That is a metal roof. That is a primer that we're applying for the.
Okay.
It's a rust inhibiting primer.
Okay.
Yep.
That's something that might help to keep the longevity. Is that something you're getting ready to do work on it, or is that just to help sustain it?
That is part of the process. So a metal roof is a 5-step process. So what we'll do is power wash the roof. We'll apply the primer, which is that, and then we seal all the seams with a base coat and a fabric, all horizontal and vertical seams. With buildings moving, that fabric and base coat have the ability to stretch with the building. And that makes it 100% seamless on that. And then after that is done, we hit all the fasteners with a caulk, and then we do a 20-year top coat. So it's at the end of the project, it's 100% seamless, and your fasteners, the caulk on the fasteners help for the fastener to back and out and everything. So yeah.
He knows what he's talking about here, everybody. So I'm going to keep scrolling through.
So do I need to get into that detail?
I get it. Man.
Yeah.
So now this is a tear off. It looks
That's
like
a tear off. That was the building.
This is what it looks like underneath.
Yes. So that's that building there is actually in Columbia, the university building there. That was a pretty good project we did about 2 years ago there. So they had a ton of leaks, and we tore the roof off. They didn't have a single leak after we put that roof on, which was
there
awesome.
You go. Start off with lots of leaks, come back, tear it off. That's a lot of work to tear that off.
Yep.
And now no leaks.
Yeah. So that's another metal roof there. We're power washing there, and that is part of the process. Get it cleaned, so the surface. So that one is actually the same roof we've seen.
Okay.
But that's the spray foam there before the base coat. You can see the blue back there.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Nice. All right. And then here you go. Okay. And so is
that
a
is
roof and a deck, or is
so that one there is on a residential building there, and what we did there is we put down plywood over the roof that was there because it wasn't wet, and then we put a coating system on top of that. I'll have to next time if I do another show, I'll bring in my bang board and I'll do a demo on that. But anyway, that's a pretty good
the bang
system.
board. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And well, there we go. What kind of building is that? That's kind of an arched roof.
Yeah, that is a laundromat. That's Lee's laundromat down in St. Louis that we just did 2.5 months ago.
Okay.
And yes, so there they didn't have any moisture or anything in their roof, so we put down a slip sheet and a window over, and that's a PVC system there.
All right, there's what your PVC system looks like, everybody.
Yep.
We'll continue here with a little bit more. Now we're talking some other. This is obviously a commercial job. You got some air conditioner units you got to go around here. Is that PVC, or what kind of roof is that one?
That is TPO.
That's a TPO.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that one there might have been an older picture that was from a job that I had helped on.
Okay.
That is not a job that we previously did.
Okay.
That one, if you go back.
Okay.
That one there was that's the old. We did that one last year. That's the old MFA building in Louisiana.
Okay. Very
we did
cool.
a spray foam.
That's
system
a big roof too. Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's the one in Columbia. Yeah, we're just laying down the PVC there. So
laying down the PVC. Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, a lot more that we can scroll through here. I'm looking at what you've got going on here. Tell me that one real quick. What is that?
Does that one look familiar? That's the Bobcat building off 70.
Oh, is it?
70.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, we did that one about a year and a half. No, so we did that one in 2024.
Okay.
Yep.
So you've got some big businesses that are looking for the work that you do, and obviously you've earned the reputation to do this kind of work.
Yes.
And a lot of people are very happy with what you're doing. With that, everybody, we're going to take a break here, some more of our fun stuff out in the community, and we'll be back here in just a minute. Stay tuned. More fun Cardinal fans, everybody. Ben and Max. Ben, how long have you been a Cardinal fan?
I mean, I lived here my whole life. You know, Cardinals are just the way in my blood. You know, I can't deny it. You know, That's how it goes.
What is your best pickup line when you meet a girl regarding the Cardinals? Hey, baby, want to go to a Cardinal game?
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'm not smooth with the ladies, you know, but yeah, hey baby, Cardinals are in
We're
town.
helping. Ben and Max. You're Ben, right? No, you're Max.
That's Max.
Max, how often do you come back after a Cardinal game? Man, there was a lot of fun there to be had. What was the most fun you had at the Cardinal game? And it can involve anything up into including things we can't talk about.
Well, when I was a kid, came here, I was sitting out in center field, you know, hanging out in the yard, and caught a home run ball. I mean, you can't really beat that, you know.
Barehanded?
No, I had a glove.
He had a glove.
Yeah.
Way to go. So
I was ready.
He's resourceful and athletic, everybody. Ben and Max, thanks you guys. Let's go. Can I get a let's go Cardinals?
Let's go Cardinals.
Let's go Cardinals, baby.
We're going to do it together now. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3. Let's go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So technology changes the way things are done, everybody. Pick up our book, Magnetize Your Media, #1 seller on Amazon. Yours truly wrote the foreword. Willie J was just in here yesterday recording another interview with some expert musicians, up-and-coming guys who've gotten #1 on the charts. Kind of neat. But technology, these days you can't have a business without a website. You're right. Upgrading your website, your social media is where you see a lot of your work. How has technology impacted the roofing business and what you do to help install a roof and how you do that and the technology necessary to do it?
Yeah, it has made a big impact, and I would just say like technology won't work either if you're not consistent in doing it, and that pretty much is for anything. Like if you're not consistent and you're like, man, it doesn't work for a week, try it for 6 months. You know.
So, oh gosh, I wish everybody. You hear what he said there? Write that one down. I didn't say it. He said it. You know, I'm the guy. I sell this stuff for a living. But yeah, you have to be consistent and write that down. But put your message out there consistently. Now you've got your own means to do so because of social media and these new means to do so. And put it out there. If you're not, your competitors are, and they're going to pass you up.
Yes.
But well said. How has the technology affected your business specifically for what you do? Are there new technologies in terms of the tools and the installations? But how are the roofs done differently now than they were 7 years ago?
So we don't really have any like technology tools that we use other than like drones and stuff that we use, which is a huge thing because you can fly a drone in the air and you can run it across the roof, and it basically will tell you all the wet spots. 100% where they are lined out at, and you can show that to the customer and say, hey, this is how much water is in your roof. And so it might be a little area, it might be the whole roof, but it gives people a visual of like, hey, this is what your roof looks like.
Yeah, you were talking about the first show, I think, and you could detect how much moisture there is based on the technology built into these drones. And if it's 80% or something, or what was
yeah,
the number you were
80%. If the roof is 80% wet, you know, it just makes sense to tear it all the way off. I mean, 50, you know, if it's 50% wet, you know, you're gonna spot those areas and tear that off, and then replace that. But 80%, you know, you're talking pretty much the whole roof. So at that point in time, you might as well just take it off. So
tear it off, everybody. Tear it off now, because it's not going to be cost prohibitive to keep that older, dilapidated. It's going to cause more problems with you long term. Well, then tell me the process. Somebody wants to hire you. What's the process? Go to your website? Walk me through it.
Yes, you can go to my website. You can actually fill out a form of what roof you got, basically about the square footage. You should be able to scroll down there. And then, or you can call me, 573-682-4039. You can go on Facebook. You can send me a message on Facebook. And then you can go on Google, and my number's on Google. You can go right there and hit the call button. It'll go right directly to me.
Well, yeah, make it easy. But the websites now, we got all the information there. But you got a call now button. They can just click the call now, or it is in the top right corner, everybody. It's over there. And behind the ABC 30. But, click the call, and then all of a sudden they've got an expert, you, on the phone. You answer the phone calls. You talk to your
JR, yes.
Okay, ask for JR, everybody. He's the guy who's going to handle all this, and he answers the calls himself to get this work done. And then what's the process after that? After they've made the initial contact, you just pick a time to go out to the location?
Yes, I always try to get back with them as soon as I get the text, email, because if you sent the request in my website, it'll go to my email, and as soon as I see that, I will respond with the dates that may work for each of us, and we'll just plan out a date what works for each of us according to schedule, or I'll just simply call them and schedule a date like that. And then I work with people where my schedule might be full, their schedule might be full, but we'll pick a day. Everybody's got an hour or whatever to make it on.
While they're at work, they can pop outside, walk around the roof with you, and take the time to figure this out, because you want to, especially if a business is in function of running their business and they've got a problem with water coming into the building. These tornadoes and big storms that came through, this affected. We talked about the residential, but it's affected businesses too. Did you see any repercussions of that? Did you deal with any businesses?
Not a whole ton, actually. We did not do a lot of it, and maybe it was because we didn't storm chase or anything, but we had a couple calls from it. But we haven't done a ton of buildings like that. We did do one that was in the tornado area.
Okay.
But not a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. So it might have been just where the path went through was a lot of the residential stuff that hit. But but the weather, I'm thinking about things that cause roofs to fail. Big storms that come through. Hail. Is hail something that causes problems on these types of roofs as well?
Yes, hail can be a big deal on. It depends on what the impact is. Pretty much all of our product is a 5 hail rating. The TPO and PVC is a little higher than a 5 impact hail rating, and but most of our all of our coating systems are that impact of hail rating on that.
That's more. That's a lot more than a residential normally is.
Yeah, I think
usually
resident.
3 and sometimes
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. So yeah.
If that's going off some of I've studied this stuff a little bit, but that's interesting. And there's just St. Louis. Do you help? Is it very often is a roof like this covered by insurance? If people are paying for their business insurance, is that something that would be covered? Or
Yeah, yes. I mean, if you have pictures, obviously, and we take a ton of pictures, and we have this app called Company Cam, where I sent the link to the customer, and they can go on there every single day, and any picture that I take is directly right to that, and so they can be informed every time I take a picture, basically. And so, but pictures is key. You can show your insurance company, hey, we did this and this and this, and it's a 20-year product or 25-year product, and they're able to insure that and go from there.
Okay, but walking people through that insurance claim process is something you specialize with and help them to make sure that they're getting what they deserve.
So as far as like walking people through the insurance, I'm always here to answer any questions that insurance may have, and help with the business owner. And we just got done doing one a few months ago that was through an insurance deal, and I basically deal with the homeowner, and then the homeowner just presents everything to the insurance. I don't directly deal with the insurance.
Yeah, but you're there to coach
much.
them essentially,
Yes.
mentor them a little bit.
Yep. Mentor and coach them through it, whatever it takes to get that. So essentially, we were working with the business owner through the insurance company. So yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's a connection there. Now, I would be willing to work with the insurance company if the owner's like, I don't want to be a part of any of it.
Right. Talk to my expert. He's going to take care of it. JR can handle this. What's the biggest question? What's the biggest objection? Is it always price, or what are people always asking you about before they get work started with you?
So I would say early on in business, it was age.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
young, but I don't think it was the looks of age. I think it was the lack of confidence.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think if you're confident in what you have and you know it works and you know that you're doing the right thing, you're presenting it to people and you know it will work for them.
And as long as you've been doing this now, you've built the confidence. You understand. You've done a number of jobs now and have built that confidence. Confidence is so key to life and what goes on there.
Yep.
Ultimately, we got about 30 seconds here. What gives you the most satisfaction for what you do here for businesses?
I'd say satisfaction is when you take an old roof, a lot of the old roofs that we tear off, maybe a tar roof or EPDM roof, which are black, and you tear it off and you put down a new roof and you look at it, it's like brand new white roof. It reflects the heat and during the summer and everything. It can be very cost effective on your electric bill and everything on that. So I like to look back and see the difference there, see the brand new roof, and then the best thing is like they don't have no leaks. It's like that's good.
You've done your job.
Yep.
He's an expert, everybody. Rapid Commercial Roofing, J.R. Miller. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.